This Virgo lunar eclipse is the detox and the clarity that you weren't ready for. It's time to clean house. So, hi everyone, welcome back. This powerful full moon total lunar eclipse in Virgo is happening on March 14th at 2:55 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And this one is bringing some major shifts. Eclipses are turning points. They close doors, they force clarity, and shake things up where we've been stagnant in our lives. This one is about release, reevaluation, and realignment, whether or not we like it. We're dealing with a mini moon at this time as well. The moon is at apogee. It's the farthest point from the earth, making this eclipse cold, detached, and maybe even a little eerie. Mercury is stationing retrograde in Aries at this time as well, and with Venus already retrograde right behind it, this is adding to miscommunication, second guessing, and unfinished business into the mix. Translation? This isn't the time for impulsive moves. Things are shifting, but we won't see the full picture yet. If something is crumbling, trust that it's making space for what's next. So for Aries and for Aries rising, this has to do with your habits, your routines, your overall direction. All of this is under review in your 6th house. Have you been pushing too hard? Have you been running on fumes? Have you been burning the candle at both ends? Or taking on more than you should? This eclipse is a hard stop on something unsustainable. If you've been stuck in workaholic mode or ignoring your well-being, something will force you to reset. With Mercury stationing retrograde in your sign, you're rethinking personal decisions as it relates to not just your overall wellness and well-being, but also with Venus here, your commitment. How do you present yourself? How do you go about your daily life? Don't rush. Give this time to unfold. For Taurus and for Taurus rising, something in your love life, creative pursuits, or sense of joy is shifting, right? This is happening in your 5th house. If you feel like you've been forcing a connection or struggling to find passion or pouring energy into something that's draining you, this eclipse pushes you to release it. This could also bring a reevaluation around old romances or unfinished creative projects. With Venus retrograde, nostalgia might tempt you to go back to something or someone that's familiar and not new, but ask yourself, is it worth it? Gemini and Gemini rising. This eclipse is hitting your home, your family, your emotional foundation, and if there's been tension in your personal life, things may reach a boiling point. You might be releasing old family baggage, shifting your living situation, or confronting deep emotional patterns that have been ongoing throughout your life. Mercury retrograde stirs up conversations from the past. A decision about home, family, or security may need to be reconsidered. Give yourself space to process before making any big moves. For Cancer and for Cancer rising, your words have power right now, but so do miscommunications. This eclipse lands in your communication zone, which is your 3rd house, and forcing you to rethink how you express yourself, how you go about communicating with other people. Old conversations may resurface, and not everything being said is true or final, so you need to have a little bit more discernment in what's going on here. This could also highlight decisions around contracts, learning, or travel. And if something feels unclear, wait for more information before committing, and be mindful of reacting too quickly in emotional discussions. For Leo and for Leo rising, money, self-worth, personal value are on the table. If you've been undervaluing yourself, spending recklessly, or depending too much on external validation, this eclipse is a reality check for you. Something financial may be ending or shifting, whether it's an income source, a debt, or a belief around money, materials, or possessions. Mercury retrograde adds delays and confusion, so avoid making any really big financial moves just yet. Instead, focus on what you truly need to feel secure. Virgo and Virgo rising. This eclipse is hitting you directly. This is in your 1st house. This is you, making it a major personal turning point. You're shedding an old version of yourself, whether that's identity, a role you've played, or a way of being that no longer fits you, that no longer serves you in the long run. With Mercury and Venus retrograde impacting relationships, you may feel torn between past and present. Old connections may resurface, or you might be questioning a current dynamic. Take your time. This isn't about rushing forward, but about realigning with your own personal truth. Libra and Libra rising. Your inner world, subconscious, and hidden patterns are illuminated. So this eclipse is clearing out something behind the scenes, whether that's a secret, a self-limiting belief, a toxic attachment, something from your deep past. Your dreams could be highlighted at this time, and you might feel extra sensitive or emotionally drained. But don't push that feeling aside. This is your chance to break cycles that have been running in the background for way too long. If something is crumbling, trust that it's meant to, and move on. Scorpio and Scorpio rising. Friendships, communities, long-term goals, and aspirations are shifting. If you've been forcing a connection, feeling out of place in a group, or realizing that a goal no longer resonates, this eclipse is pushing you to let go of that and to divest of that. Mercury retrograde brings back old friends, unresolved issues, or nostalgia about a past vision that you had for yourself. So, looking at things, ask yourself, is this truly aligned with where I'm headed, or is it just familiar? Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. Career, reputation, and life direction are under major review. If you've been pursuing something that no longer fulfills you, this eclipse is forcing you to a reckoning. Something could be ending or shifting dramatically in your career public sphere of life. Mercury retrograde brings delays, and not just delays, but also a delay in clarity. You could be really confused about what's going on right now. So be patient. New opportunities are forming, but they need time to reveal themselves. In the meantime, focus on what truly drives you. Capricorn and Capricorn rising. Your beliefs, your mindset, and long-term plans are shifting. You may rethink your educational path, spiritual perspective, or future vision. If something isn't resonating any longer with you, this eclipse helps you to release it. Travel, publishing, or legal matters may also be highlighted. Mercury retrograde suggests that things are still fluctuating or in flux, so wait for more clarity before making permanent choices. Aquarius and Aquarius rising. This eclipse is a deep transformation. It's hitting your shared resources, intimacy, and exchanges of money. If you've been giving too much or feeling drained or tied to something out of an obligation or a sense of duty, this is your moment to cut the cord. Financially, debts, inheritances, or shared money may come up for review. Be mindful of impulsive financial moves while Mercury is retrograde. Trust that what's shifting is making space for more stability down the line for you. And finally, Pisces and Pisces rising. Relationships are at a crossroads. Whether romantic, platonic, or business-related, something needs to be reevaluated. Are your connections truly balanced and aligned with who you are, or do you need to cut someone out and let something go? Mercury and Venus retrograde stir up old dynamics, past lovers, or unresolved tensions. If something feels off, trust that instinct. Let go what you need to, and what remains will be stronger for it. So this eclipse is going to force clarity, whether we're ready for it or not. Something is ending, so don't cling to it. Let it go. Let it unfold. So hopefully this eclipse brings the clarity that you need, the release you've been resisting, and the wisdom to trust what unfolds. Thank you, and may you move forward with grace.